Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of SRX the game. And in today's video we're headed to the quarter mile at Woodley. Now if you've played the previous games, this track will be very familiar to you because it gets wild at this track. It's listed at a quarter mile with mid banking, but it's got plenty of banking to ensure very high speeds, and most importantly, the thing I remember the most, a lot of contact generally during this race, simply because of the shape of the track. You can see it resembles Phoenix quite a bit there, but leads to a lot of contact. And it is also very important because it is the next to last race of our season. Remember, we're running a shortened season. We did not do the full season, so only 14 races for us, and this is race number 13. Now the first place prize, only 9 grand. So we're below that 10 grand threshold that I consider sort of a watermark of a higher paying event versus some of the very low paying events. We're sort of in the middle here with Woodley, but very important is what comes next. Race 14 of 14 is Knoxville, the final showcase event of the season. And of course, Knoxville, the famous sprint car facility, half mile, very little banking there, but the first place prize, $22,500, and more importantly, an opportunity for us to possibly get the very best sponsor that we can for season number 2 that we're going to have here in these cars. So that's what we got coming up over the next few videos, but right now, it's time to head to Woodley. Practice and qualifying in the books, and things have gone very well so far. Again, only ran a couple of laps in practice, but we got down to a 10:69 with a goal time of 10:96. So we've got a few tenths in the bank there. Qualifying, not quite as good. This is a track where you have to hit your marks perfectly, or you can easily lose 2 to 3 tenths before you even realize it in one of these corners. So 10.8, still not too bad. I believe we were 24th overall, so somewhere just below mid-pack. We'll be starting, I believe, in the 6th position in heat number 4. All right, ready to go for the heat race, and it seems like we should be able to keep up in this heat race. All right, here we go. All right, so once again, we want to get down to that bottom, but right now we just can't get there. A little contact there. Slid the back end too much there. He got right back to us. Yep, trying to get under him right there and just could not do it. You can see these guys have some pretty good pace. What I really want to do is clip right at the bottom on the apex of these corners. And so far, I can tell I'm going to need some more laps before I'm any threat to do that. I want to put that left rear right down there. You don't want to get too low, as we've seen at several tracks. You get too low down there, and you'll cause some serious handling conditions. That wasn't too bad. Still not where I need to be. But you can see, if I come close to where I need to be at the apex, then we've got enough speed. Ouch, that was contact right there. Okay, so now we've been able to clear him. So as always, I use these heat races as my practice session. So this is where I find out what I can and cannot do with the car. All right, slid it just a little too much. Got down there where I wanted to be. Just slid the car. Again, for me, if you watch my setup video, then number one, you'll know exactly what kind of setup I'm using because it's very much the same as what I showed you guys in that video for these cars. But also that I struggle with keeping the car tight enough to keep it underneath me. So starting 8th in the B main, yeah, we'll take that. All right, top 5 finishers go on to the A main. I did make one setup change to try to tighten the car up a little bit. I changed the right rear spacing to reduce that just a little bit, and we'll see if that helps us out. Ooh, I thought I was going to run that guy over right there. Trying to get down to this bottom. and stay down here because getting inside one of these guys is easier said than done. Oh, slid way too much there. Let that guy get back underneath me. Alright, we were able to pull him off the corner though. Alright, so far so good. We're actually in the top 5, but as always, I don't want to be just in the top 5. I want to be, ouch, there's contact. I may have to start applying just a touch of brake on entry to try to calm down the rear end from swinging around quite so much. Like right there. Just drag the brake just a little bit on corner entry. In this case, we'll tighten the car up. Alright, and now that we've got a little bit of room to ourselves, I'm trying some things out to see if I can get a little rhythm here. And you can see, we've caught the top 3. They are right in front of us. Oh, that's not going to help. That's what I was talking about sliding the rear end a little too much. We want the car to rotate for sure so that we can get into the corner, but we don't need it to over-rotate because that scrubs a lot of speed. So right now I am just playing around with different ways of driving the course, and so far I can't find anything that will get me exactly where I want to be. But for me, the easiest way to get this thing to rotate is simply lift off the gas. The way it's set up, it rotates quite nicely off the throttle, but it doesn't over-rotate. And for me right now at this track, that is working better than the brake. I need the brake a little bit when we're in traffic here. I'm trying to run a different, oh, look out. And I'm trying to avoid some of this slower cars. It's nice not to be the slower car. Alright, I can see third place right there in front of me. Can't quite get to him though. Only a couple more laps to go, but right now we're sitting good to make it to the A main. Get this lap car. Let's see if we can get underneath him on corner entry here. Alright, sure enough, we were able to get just enough room. Alright, final lap. I don't see anybody pushing us behind, but that doesn't mean they're not there. And off of turn 4, and we get it. 4th position. We needed a top 5 to get into the A main. We made it. Alright, here we go. A main. And we're ready to go. Of course, we'll be starting very close to the back, basically at the rear of the field, but that's okay. We made it to the A main. I love this guy's number right in front of us. Was that 133? Love that. Little contact there on the entry. A little more contact there. Alright, let's see if we can get some sort of rhythm. Still trying to get those rear tires to hook up the way I want. So in the setup, I would be... Oh, look out. Wow. Not sure what kind of damage we got from that, but basically there was nowhere to go. So we're just going to head out and see what we can make of this. But we did have, what, 2 or 3 cars in front of us that got into it, so maybe 4 or 5 overall. Ooh, good restart there for us. Again, I'm trying to hug this bottom. Oh, now I am definitely using the brake here when we are 3 wide. Oh, slid up the track there. Whew, that was close. All right, we're up to 18th for the time being. Let's see if we got the speed to stay there. You can see these guys are stacked up behind us. That's usually a pretty good sign that you do not have the speed to stay where you are. But we're going to fight for this. Ooh, here they come streaming by. Well, they really were lined up back there, weren't they? Looked like one of the restrictor plate tracks. Daytona or Talladega there, they were just streaming by us. But right now, what I'm really struggling with is just rear grip on corner exit. Once I get back to the throttle hard in the center of the corner, the back end just wants to slide too much. We're losing speed there. Now, if I could, you know, be in a perfect world where there was no cars around us and that kind of thing, then that'd be different. I could probably work it around pretty good, but remember, race conditions are very different. Can't always put the car where you want it and run the line you want. All right, I see a bunch of cars in my mirror. That probably means leader. Yep, there they go, right there. First, second, third, fourth. Once again, they're just streaming by. And as fast as they're coming by, I was kind of scared to get back down to the bottom because these guys are moving. I remember in qualifying, I want to say the pole was about 3/4 of a second, maybe 0.8 of a second faster. So yeah, they're a good bit faster at a track where we're only running 11-second laps right now anyway. So these guys are probably running like 10 1/4, if I'm guessing, for race laps. And I can definitely not keep up with that. So we're running last right now, but it doesn't feel like it with as many cars as we've got around. So as far as a track-specific setup for Woodley, based on what I gave you guys for the baseline in the video, I would be looking to tighten up the car on corner exit more. So that would be things like adjusting the right rear, reducing several things on the right rear, from the shocks down to air pressure, increasing left rear air pressure, left rear bump. All those types of things can help. Ouch! I guess he didn't realize I was there, but he was coming through either way. So now you can see I wasn't kidding about all the contact that you can expect at this place. It can be a lot of fun if you're fighting for the win and top threes and all that kind of stuff. But when you're not, all right, there's 24th in front of us. We had passed him momentarily. Let's try to get back by him. And you can see 15th coming by to lap us. So there is a lot of speed. Oh, hello. That must have been 24th that went for a nice spin. I believe he had a little help with that, though. And there comes our... We lost a second lap. All right, so we got 42 laps. Now, normally it would be 40, but remember, we had the caution. And caution laps don't count, so I guess the way the game has to work that is to simply add a few at the end. Which certainly makes sense. So we didn't bring out another caution. Apparently that was just a single car spin. Works out good for us because we pick up a position, and every position is more money and more points. Oh yeah, cars drive so much different whenever you got plenty of room to roam around. That is about to be over for us because here they come to lap some more. There's third position. So I'll work my way up the track here and try not to get run over by these guys. But I absolutely love these longer races. This is where, because you get into all the traffic, it's not as simple as just saying, you know, however fast you are is where you'll finish. You got to get through all the traffic as well. Whether you happen to be the leader, running fifth, or dead last, you always have to deal with the traffic. And being at the back of this field right now will give us a better appreciation for what it's like when we work our way up to leading some of these events or running in the top 3 and top 5. We'll understand a little bit better how it is to be that slower car who's trying their best to stay out of the way but just can't. So we will take that. We made it to another A main. Now if we can do that in the final race of the season at Knoxville, something tells me we will be in great shape with a sponsor for next season. But for now, we're going to take that 24th position. We were only 2 laps down, only. Man, those guys were flying at the front of the field. So our final results, 24th position. We will certainly take that. Overall, that gives us some nice points. And overall in the season, 30th position. Okay, let's move on to the final screen that we're interested in for right now, which is the money. $7,300, so a little over $3,900 for the race purse. And then, of course, our sponsor, merch, and sponsor goals. Not too bad. Our merch is creeping on up there. We were at around $10 at first. Now we're at $65. So a few more hats and t-shirts being sold. Thank you guys so much for buying those items from us here at the track. Souvenir sales or merch sales are going to be a huge portion of our overall income as we continue to move forward. But for that, we need more fans and better finishes. So that's going to do it for today at Woodley. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more SRX, the game.